Remix hit.
Available to the whole community. Newcastle United's initial reaction is that the scheme is naive. Steve Sutton now reports.
These are the men who say they'll turn Newcastle United into the best club in Europe if they're given the chance. Headed by John Hall, a Newcastle supporter since the age of 10, the Magpie Group say they'll give the club a totally new direction. This glossy proposal was sent to Newcastle United today with a demand for a meeting with the board within the next 7 days to discuss it. Shareholders too are being canvassed for their views. These are the main points of the document. The Magpie Group will revitalise the board but not necessarily overthrow it. They'll raise money through a new share issue with a bonus to existing holders. They'll immediately inject £5 million into the club. They'll increase democracy by removing absolute power of a small number of people, redevelop the ground and call a halt to selling off players to balance the books. The plan for the ground would involve turning St James's Park into a fully covered stadium with a capacity of 45,000. There would also be other leisure facilities developed on the site.
We're giving the shareholders something. We're giving the supporters better facilities and the new ground. We're giving the players an opportunity to believe that their future, the ones that have left and the ones that are possibly leaving, that their future is by staying in Newcastle. I believe we give hope for the future of the club more than the other groups in the past. Everybody likes to be part of success. And the players are leaving, I believe, because they cannot see success coming, at this moment in time, coming to Newcastle United. And I honestly believe that if these players can see that the club is going places, it is the best place to stay. It's their area. There's no reason to go outside if they can win the cup and the league and have a part and possibly in the future Europe. The future is in the northeast, is with Newcastle United. That's what we can put over to them. It's the hope.
Shareholder Malcolm Dix has tried many times to open up the apparent closed shop at Newcastle, but he believes this bid has every chance of succeeding where he's failed.
I think a lot of shareholders aren't particularly interested in the football club. They've had those shares for many, many years, and if our plan went through, and obviously we were able to put a rights issue and a bonus issue through, for the first time their shares would attract a value. And if they were allowed to transfer them, then in fact they could have some return from those shares. I think it's quite an interesting carrot, if you like, to give to the shareholders, and I hope that they'll appreciate what we're trying to do for them.
Newcastle United say their record in the league this season repels any grounds for criticism. 8th place in Division 1, a brand new stand almost completed, and big signings. Most recently, goalkeeper Dave Beasant at £850,000, the country's most expensive keeper. New chairman Gordon McKeag received the Magpie document in the post this morning. His board will meet during the next week, but his initial reaction was this. The plan, he said, was long on gloss, short on detail, defensive about the ability to better the current board's record, and particularly naive about running a football club. The Magpie Group insist they haven't launched a takeover bid. They say they'd be happy for the present board to stay as long as it takes on board some of their suggestions. And John Hall insists he has no personal desire to run Newcastle United.
I would welcome Gordon staying there, and quite honestly I'd also welcome, I think, the recognition of Stan's services that he should be made president. I think it would be a nice gesture to him after all the years of service he's given to the club.
But if they found their position untenable, would you quite like to be chairman?
Not necessarily.
That was Steve Sutton reporting on the Magpie Group's plans for Newcastle United. Staying with football...
Beasant, how the new boys have been settling in at St James's. Can the Middlesbrough success story carry on right the way from 3rd Division to the 1st? And can Sunderland do a Borough and follow last season's triumph with another promotion campaign? Well, we start our preview of the big kick-off at Newcastle, the league's loads of money club who've handled £5 million worth of transfer deals. Paul Gascoigne has gone to Spurs, but all the fans are thinking about is a £3 million worth of talent manager Willie McFaul has brought to Tyneside. And what a debut for the new boys, Everton away. 6,000 United fans are on the march tomorrow, but I doubt if their spirits could be much higher than the players who left for Merseyside this afternoon. If any fans were worried those massive transfer fees were weighing heavily on some of the United's big money buys, they should have been at Benwell this afternoon. It seems not only have Newcastle bought some good players, they've also acquired some real characters too.
Dave, 4 new faces in the Newcastle team. I think the noise over there would say that the team has really fitted together quite well, off the pitch anyway.
Yeah, the team spirit seems as good as anywhere I've been.
And can you sum up really just how difficult it's been though to get 4 new players into a team during the closed season?
I mean, a pre-season tour helps.
All right, give us a break for a minute. Go on.
A pre-season tour always helps to bring players together, and that's it's always good to get away. And as you can see, like the team spirit. Says the coach on.
Manager Willie McFaul is rather more restrained than some of his team, but even the laid-back Irishman can't deny this season's build-up has been rather special.
I've got to admit that there is a buzz about the place. I try to keep a low key and get on with it. I think that's the best way to do it, but you know, when you're manager of Newcastle United, that doesn't always happen. It's not always the case that you get time, you get to do it the quiet way. But I think the fact that the new stand has been built, and when we were down there the other day for the photo call, and the pitch was looking well, lads looked up at the new stand, and the new faces have knitted in well. Everything looks right. Let's hope it is right.
Of course, the main reason there's been so much money spent is because good old Gazza raked in £2 million by moving south to Spurs. But who's going to replace Gazza? Newcastle haven't bought a recognised playmaker. So is the manager happy he's got someone who can supply the ammunition like his young star?
I'm willing to give the people that's in the building a chance to see if they can do that job before we do anything about it. I feel quite confident about it at the moment. I hope I feel the same way in 3 months' time. The fact that we finished 8th in the season last season, playing the way we do play or attempt to play, give me a lot of encouragement about certain members of the staff that we've already got in the building. So I'd like to see them in action before I start even thinking about replacing Paul Gascoigne.
It'll certainly be interesting. Well, Newcastle go to Everton without their captain Glenn Roeder, but Willie McFaul has not yet named his replacement nor his final line.